What is up, everybody? Welcome to FSP. This is episode number 106. And as you can see, Specialist Jasper is actually joining us again for the second surprise in as little as 4 days. And I am super happy about it. What's up, Jasper? How you doing, man?
Yeah, he's so happy that he keeps trying to fall asleep before the show.
For some reason, like sometimes I get overwhelmingly sense of tiredness, and like right before we're going live, I'm like, oh fuck, like I'm struggling. I got my sweet tea though, and right here, so I'm just gonna chug the shit out of this, and we're good to go. How you doing, man?
It's pretty good. Got to see a rocket go off the other night. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, you sent us pictures, man. It was pretty fucking sweet. What rocket was that? Was it like a just random like thing that they do all the time?
SpaceX. SpaceX putting
SpaceX one?
up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That was visible from here yet last night. Or was not last night or the night before or something.
Away from Texas?
Yeah, Kate was like, hey, this is supposedly visible from Dallas, and like I didn't know it was the same thing, but she said it was a SpaceX thing. So it's probably the same thing, I guess. Okay. I don't know.
I mean, maybe, I don't know.
Well, you would be the expert. I don't know. I don't fucking know. But she said there was like some SpaceX thing that was like visible from Dallas the other day. So.
Oh, okay. Because I know they have that thing in Boca Chica, but I didn't think there was a launch.
I have no fucking
away from. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't either.
You better go get on your radars, man, and figure this shit out because it could have been an old video for all I know. I don't know. It was just a random little comment. But what's up, man? How you doing?
Good, you know.
You good? You sure?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, right on, man. It was good to have you back here again, dude. For sure. And Fuzzy Belvedere, what's up with you, man? How's it going?
Oh, it's going pretty good. And just basically returning to Division 2 for a little bit. Got my final 4th agent from level 30 to level 40 without doing the Warlords of New York, because they removed that barrier. Although LR3 went through it, but this one I figured I'll keep it at level 30. But now that you could just do everything in DC, it's like okay, I got that one to level 40. Still playing GT7 and Forza Horizon 5 and getting the cars for the week. Although I already got the cars for GT7. I guess it was like the beginning of the month.
Yeah.
And they did their update, but got my Mustang Dark Horse edition from Forza, and then just doing that off social media for the most part because everybody's angry about everything instead of gaming, I guess. But
yeah,
really, because my social media has just been full of Hawk Ta or whatever. Hawk
Hawk
Tua spit on that thing. Oh man, yeah.
You could tell we're in a weird timeline where something that's been like a thing you would hope for back in 80s, 90s is now going viral because it's 2024. It just feels weird that this is when this goes viral, as opposed to a chick doing stuff like that.
That's what I was thinking. Something you hoped for in the 80s or 90s is now going viral. A Hawk Tua, like it's like your dream viral moment back in the 80s or 90s.
I wouldn't say it was a dream moment, but it was like there was some weird stuff going on back in the day, and it's like, and this is what goes viral today?
Right?
Like,
yeah. No, I get you. Yeah, it's like just random like little thing that seems so like just whatever, but all of a sudden it explodes. Yeah, there's no rhyme or reason to it. I don't think. You can't predict what's gonna take off like that, you know. But maybe eventually one day we'll randomly say something ridiculous or stupid and it'll go viral. It's possible. Yeah. Hawk Tua. E-Rank says Hawk Tua is always a dream moment. It's created conversations, a lot of conversations, I think.
Yeah. I keep on seeing the ones about like people doing memes about the dad. It's like, oh man,
Yeah.
I can't imagine. Like, oh yeah, I paid
Well,
to have
someone made like a
my
full
daughter
on
go
like
to
country
spring break
song
or
or some
something.
shit with it.
Yeah. There's been a lot of those, a lot of songs. Brett Bingham says, if she don't talk to her, you don't talk to her. Yeah, that's people are selling shirts with that saying on it. If you look on like Etsy, there's like 1,000 things to buy for Haktua. It's like, how do you react if you're the person, if you're that girl, right? You're just getting randomly kind of like stopped on the street to do this little like 5-second interview thing for some YouTube channel or whatever it was. I don't even know what it was for. And like, you're like 5 seconds of time turns into like an explosion where your face and your words are everywhere. It's got to be pretty insane, right?
I say capitalize. She should make shirts and her own merchandise. Don't let all the Etsy
Yeah.
people get all the money. for it.
Yeah, you got to like copyright that
Um,
shit, right?
Do something. You don't get
Yeah.
on talk shows. Do a talk show and podcast circuits like Joe Rogan. Do something because turn it
Yeah.
into a cash cow while it's hot. I guess is
Yeah.
the best thing to do.
Yeah, it's like usually like you would go to like somebody that has like experience like for advice on how to handle this thing, but like I wouldn't want to go to my parents and say like, hey, I like I had this thing happen. I did this Hawk Tua spit on that thing, you know, and it kind of caught on.
I'm pretty
What do
sure
I?
the parents know.
I'm pretty sure they do. Yeah.
Depending on the parents, mom might be like, "Yeah, I taught you right." You never know. So
Kate says I asked her if she wanted to do a little Hawk Tua earlier, but I didn't mention that. Yeah. I was joking with her before the show. I like went to see her. I was like, "Hey, you want to do a little quick Hawk Tua?" Anyway, all right. Yeah, internet. It's crazy, guys. You never know what to expect. Like you said, so you stayed off of social media and stuff lately, and there's people angry about everything all the time, and it's kind of hard to know like why certain things set people off, but it seems like it's just kind of unpredictable.
yeah.
Everybody loved the Nintendo Direct though. Did you your cat's going crazy? Did either of you guys watch it?
I skimmed
caught
through the trailers.
replay. Oh, yeah. Go ahead, Jasper. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna. I skipped through. I started the live stream and then I just kind of went through the highlights to see what games were there and watched like 3 seconds of each trailer. Nothing was really there for me. So
You want to give it a 1 to 10 based on that, or to be fair?
I feel like I didn't watch enough of it to judge it. So
Right. Did you watch any Fuzzy?
Just a couple of the trailers kind of did the same thing Jasper did. It was a Nintendo-ass Nintendo Direct. That was about the best way to put it. It had Mario, it had Zelda, who I guess now she's got her own game where she's the character or the main character, as opposed to being saved kind of thing. And then Metroid finally made an appearance again. So that Switch 2's got to be right around the corner, I guess. So
God, I hope so. I don't really care honestly about any Nintendo Direct until we have a new device that looks better on a screen, on a big screen, and when we have that, I will start caring. But I don't even know that the games that they're putting out for the Switch or that they announced for the Switch will what they'll be displaying at on a Switch 2, right? So, or if they're even going to be compatible for the next Switch or whatever. So it's hard for me right now to like watch one of those shows and get excited. Instead, it just like looks like a bunch of Nintendo games, right? And like it's like, okay, well that's what I would expect. And there's nothing. You got another Mario, you got another Zelda, but not like a main Zelda. It's like a cartoony Zelda or whatever. And then you got a bunch of random stuff. But the thing that kind of seemed to jump out for most people, that caused some of that anger, on social media was the Marvel vs. Capcom collection, skipping Xbox, right? And there's a lot of theories on it. Some people are saying it was that because there's no MT framework for Xbox One, that they can port the games over. I don't, or no development platform for it for that engine. I don't really know. And then some people saying that's not accurate because they've done plenty of other games, and it's true too. So don't exactly know why, except maybe it's just they don't feel like it's worth it to do
I
so.
think that's the main reason.
Probably. But at the end of the day, like, I'm thinking like, yeah, it sucks ass, right? It does suck. Like, they should put it everywhere if they're doing that, especially game preservation stuff. Could be licensing things, as well. Potential for some
So
of the games
I
that are in
also
the collection.
I think that it's not even like native. There's no native PlayStation 5 version for it either. I think it's just PlayStation 4 that you can play back and pat on PlayStation 5 for that game.
Right. So,
So
like, is it a licensing thing, or I have no idea, but it does kind of suck. But the thing that was, when everybody was talking about this, I was like, everybody's upset about this, but like nobody cared that the Switch sucks ass so much that they couldn't even put Street Fighter 6 on it. Which is like the big actual Capcom game. And if there was a new Marvel vs. Capcom announced, it would be on Xbox and PlayStation, not on the Switch. Right? And it got me thinking, like, could that be a reason they don't even make one yet? Because, like, they don't want to. How many Switches are out there? Tons, right? So it's like a primary. So it's like they'd rather just do like this collection thing instead of actually do a new one. Or maybe they are working on a new one. I don't know. But when that gets announced, it won't be announced for this Switch, at least, because Street Fighter 6 wasn't, right? So, and it's weird, like, to see the other big Capcom games, like Monster Hunter Wilds, right? Like Street Fighter 6. Those aren't announced for the Switch. And nobody cares because it's just accepted that Nintendo's only platform sucks so much that it can't run those games. So it's like, oh, it's fine, That's not what the Switch is for. Well, like, for me, if like Nintendo was my primary platform, I would want those games, So it's just been relegated as a secondary kind of system. That's what Nintendo's done. And that's one of the reasons I just have a hard time getting excited about the directs for them. It's just, that's not they don't have the big games, right? They have their own big games, but aren't really, they're more nostalgia games for me than anything else. But yeah, Marvel vs. Capcom, man. I actually launched the Street Fighter Fighting Collection last night. I was playing it for a little bit. I was like, this is cool.
I mean, honestly, it's kind of like when they remade GoldenEye. People were gonna like be all excited for it, but they're gonna play it for 5 minutes.
That's the kind of thing. But like Marvel vs. Capcom 2 was like that special game. So for me, that's the one that burns the most, not being able to have it on Xbox, because I would get that and I would definitely play it on Xbox. But at the same time, I have Steam. I can get it on Steam and I can be happy that way. I can get it on the Switch if I want to, if I really felt like I needed to, or the PlayStation. So it sucks, but it's not like it can't play it, And I am probably gonna get it at some point when it's cheaper. Some pretty cool stuff on it. But anything exciting for Nintendo Direct for anybody? Like, no.
I mean, like I said before, I'm not the biggest Nintendo fan. Like, I'll play some of their older Mario games, but outside of that, it's like, I won't say I outgrew Nintendo, because it's not that it's like for kids or anything along those lines. But there's only a handful of games that appeal to me, and most of the games that I saw on Switch that appealed to me, I actually bought on Steam Deck. So I don't know. They haven't won me over as a potential customer in quite a while, and I think because I grew up as a Sega kid, I'll never look at Nintendo a certain way or whatever. But
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, like, you could have told me that show was a E3 show from 2008, and I'd been like, "Yep, that's Nintendo games." Like, they haven't changed in like 20 years.
Yep. I used to dream like back in the day, like well, one day what will these like Zelda look like, or what will this look like, or whatever. And like, if you were to tell myself the 20-something-year-old me, right, that they would look like they do today, I would have been a little disappointed. But that's the reality. I mean, literally, Metroid Prime 4 got announced, it was already previously announced, but got shown for the first time, and it looks good, right? But we were talking in our DMs about Halo 4, right? And which is on 360, which this game kind of looks art style wise, like aesthetically a lot like that, you know? But like if you go like Halo 4 looks better. It looks like it plays better. So it's hard to get excited a lot about that game now for me, because it's like not really pushing anything forward. It's just kind of status quo. Like, how much different is it than the Wii one, the ones that were on Wii and stuff, you know? Like, I don't know. But anyway, like it's fine. I mean, I think the people that are really attached to the platform and are accepting of the way things are, saw a lot of stuff that they like. So,
I mean, I would honestly play more Nintendo games if they weren't all $60 and never went on sale.
that's true.
Yeah.
At some point, the griping and complaining that everybody does about PlayStation and Xbox for every little thing, at some point it will migrate over to Nintendo. They used to, like, people used to complain about Nintendo stuff back in the day, like a GameCube or like the Wii U.
I think it's,
you know, but like even the Wii when it became mostly shovelware, right? But I think nobody's usually complained too much about Nintendo's handheld platforms. Everybody's been really content, and this is a handheld. So,
but also like Nintendo's kind of stepped out of the console. Like they haven't really been in that since like the GameCube, maybe I'd say, but even then.
Yeah, well, the Wii U was almost like they were trying to get back into it, but they didn't know how to market it or approach it, and then they stepped aside because as a console, like a Wii U had way more features than the Switch, like with online and compatibility and the storefront and user interface, like the Miiverse stuff, like all these things. Like they had tons of like console functionality stuff there, and they just like threw all that away for the Switch, which made sense because the Switch is a small handheld device, right? But like that's what it is. It's a small handheld device. It's usable as a console, right? Not a console first. So that's always been my thing. But you know, eventually for me, I think this model will work because they will get better and be more capable with those features and everything, right? But so this generation has been really weak for me, for Nintendo. But it still sells because it's a Nintendo handheld. Overall though, like the Fantasia, or is it Fantasian? I think is the name of that game. It's a JRPG. That looked pretty good. But yeah, I wasn't like raving. Did y'all guys see that the was it Schreier and Christopher Dring were like over the moon saying like how it saved E3 and how I'd take away the winner's card from Xbox for the best showcase.
They got to be like trolling.
Well, maybe they're serious Nintendo fans, and both of those two individuals don't seem like they like anything about Xbox. So it's like they're probably serious in their bubble, but yeah, I can't see how it outdid the Xbox showcase. But I don't know. That's just me. I've never really fell for the Nintendo nostalgia. So
yeah,
and I've told you guys my conspiracy theory about Nintendo that nobody wants to put to the test. So
yeah, they're an enigma for me because I love them. I love the company. I love a lot of the games, but like for me, it's just like I don't like handhelds too much. And like if I play on a console in this day and age, I want it to be better than what the Switch is. And it doesn't need to be an Xbox or PlayStation. It just needs to be at least a Wii U or better. Like, and it was a step back, but it is what it is. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to Magnum, Luis Jose, Void Rat, the Winter Soldier, or Shoulder, the Winter Shoulder, Poison Maniac. How's it going? Drew Blisky says, I will always pirate Nintendo ROMs. Yeah, there's a lot of people that do that. So Parker Burris, what's up? What's up? Let's see who else we got here. Jagger0718 says, speak for yourselves. That's exactly what we're doing. This is a podcast. We're speaking for ourselves. So that's the point of this. Shout out to Abdel114, Decado. How you doing? Nate Dog. What's up? Web Dave. How's it going, Web Dave? Hope you're doing good, bro. It's my beautiful wife, Caitlin, hanging out. E-Ranks says, I hope that Haktua girl is making some money off this thing. If you're the most viral thing on the internet, you got to find a way to capitalize. Yeah, like the plane girl. That was the last major viral thing when she was like, he's not real. Yeah, it could. Maybe they could get together and form some kind of like viral channel full of like formal viral stars that like just relive their most famous moments over and over again.
The new hit of, or the new version of One Hit Wonders. It's like, where are they now?
Yeah, exactly. They have that for like, where are they now? I've seen some documentary things for like YouTube or viral things. Like
the meme people and stuff. Like the one like meme girl where she's like has like a weird face that like
side eye
like
Chloe
backseat of the car.
Side eye Chloe. Then there's like Charlie Bit My Finger. Like they did like an interview on like a talk show, right? And it's interesting seeing these people because they always seem so old and like, oh my god, it was like that long ago, right? Yeah, but it's pretty crazy. All right, so let's get into some of the main thing here. There's been some shenanigans, or not shenanigans, some happenings, I guess, going on. The FTC has officially dropped the complaint after wasting lots of time and money and resources fighting some frivolous thing for... How long have they been fighting this? Since 2022?
Yeah, it feels like 2+ years at this point.
Yeah, it's been.
Would they announce it in January?
Yeah, January of 2022 or 2023.
It was probably 2022.
I can't even remember. It's been it just seems like forever. Like they've been fighting this thing, but they have officially dropped the complaint now. And what does that mean? Well, Nate Doc says they haven't dropped it, just the main letter dropped out or whatever. I think they dropped it. I think this is like the main lawyer dropped out. Okay. Yeah, they dropped it. But like this whole thing is like kind of getting over with finally from that end. And it seems like one question we've all had is, where's the ABK games going into Game Pass? Because that was something they've alluded to and they talked about numerous times. It was all in the trial that they were going to do this. That after it got finalized, I said they were going to be putting games in Game Pass, all these different things. And they keep reaffirming all of these things. Day one, all the ABK games day one are going to go into Game Pass. And the only thing they've done so far is Diablo 4, right? And I'm kind of thinking now with this latest stuff, this is kind of going to be imminent. People are asking where the info it's been all over Twitter. Like I've seen probably like 20 different big posts about it from legitimate sources and stuff saying they pulled out. I don't have it in front of me, so I can't read it exactly what it says. But overall, the consensus has seemed like this is like wrapped up now. So does this mean that we're finally going to get the first batch soon? Because I thought it was going to happen at Summer Game Fest at the Xbox show. right? Or right after or something. But there was nothing there. And I think most people assume that they were waiting to drop some then, right? So it's been a long time. They said they needed time, right? I don't think they're going to just drop them all at once. So was this the final thing that needed to happen? Like, or are we about to maybe get the first batch? Do you think? What do you think, Jasper?
Yeah, like when I saw like people were saying that like this was like the last draw on it because like they didn't want to put anything in Game Pass or do all the cloud stuff yet, just because at the end of the day they're risking $70 billion deal. Like, so maybe they were playing it ultra safe just because it is $70 billion that is on the line. So if this is now officially dropped or whatever, like I could see them maybe. Well, at the same time, like they gotta port if they're gonna do it on PC. If they're doing everything day and date together, some of the Call of Duties aren't on PC. Like they're gonna have to put time and effort into that. So maybe they wait on that. I don't. They may wait on Call of Duty, but I could see us getting like the Tony Hawks and stuff like that. Maybe like the other name games, not necessarily Call of Duty, because Call of Duty still has that weird stuff with PlayStation marketing. So we probably wouldn't get the newer ones, but we could get the 360 ones. But those are the ones we're gonna have to spend the most time on. Like I don't know, it's all up in the air. So I think probably like the Tony Hawk games, the Spyro games, the Crash games. That's probably going to be the first batch that I would say maybe around Gamescom.
Okay. When is Gamescom? It's in August, right?
Yeah.
Like 2 months away.
Yeah.
Is that what you're thinking, Fuzz? Or you think I'm thinking it's more imminent? I don't know. I was thinking maybe like next week or so, but I don't know.
It's weird. Like I was originally hoping that they would have at least addressed some of it at the Xbox showcase, but there was just so much stuff that they had in that showcase that kind of they didn't need to do it then. But I guess it got pushed back to some extent. So maybe they announced it at Gamescom. I mean, it could be sooner. I don't think they want to officially make the announcement the day after like the case is completely withdrawn or something. I do think there's still probably, like Jasper said, there's some time that they're going to need as far as for like the PC versions of some of the older titles, making sure that BattleNet doesn't negatively affect the Game Pass actions. Because I think for Diablo, some people that were doing it on PC and console or bouncing back and forth had some PC issues if they went back to console or vice versa. So I think they got to iron out a few more things. So maybe we see it next month with like the first batch, because kind of like with Bethesda, I don't think they did everything in one lump sum. It was like a lot of it, or like 80% of it, was probably in a lump sum, and then there were the ones that still had contractual stuff like PS Plus and things like that. Like I know the Evil Within 2 was delayed because of the PlayStation thing, and then the same thing with the two games that PlayStation had, which was like Deathloop and Ghostwire. There was a couple other ones that were weird with Bethesda, which some of them still don't have that dual entitlement type setup. I mean, we still get the dual entitlement, but it doesn't do like the cross save, cross progression stuff. So maybe they're trying to get a lot of that stuff resolved behind the scenes, and in Gamescom or sometime between now and Gamescom, they get it all figured out. I would think Modern Warfare 3, if anything, because of the previous marketing, I don't think we get that until at least a year or maybe even 2 years after the marketing rights expire from when Sony originally had it, kind of thing.
Yeah. I'm just surprised we haven't gotten like any of the other ones. Like even a small batch, right? So like there has to be some reason, that they haven't done it yet. And what the hurdle was, or what they were waiting for, or whatever, because I can't imagine there would be too much of a challenge with all these games. Like there's got to be just like some either it's got to be like a legal thing or something. You know what I mean?
At the same time, they also have to work with Ubisoft and give them all the stuff too. Like because they have that deal with Ubisoft.
But was it
Releases
worded
right
like all
before that.
new games or all games? I thought it was like worded for Ubisoft like all new Activision Blizzard games.
It may be, but Microsoft's probably still going to do all of them anyway, just because it's easier.
Right. They might. Yeah. That's a good point. Yeah, there's a lot to this, but what do y'all think the first batch? So you're thinking the first batch, Jasper, will be like Spyro and Tony Hawk and
like
those
the other
games? Yeah.
named games. Yeah.
Is that what you think, Fuzz?
Yeah, because I think they hold some of the Call of Duties, or at least the Black Ops ones, until the release of the main one, or at least up to 30 days prior to it. So it's like, oh, hop back into Black Ops
Yeah.
before to get ready for, Black Ops 6 kind of thing.
It's
But
either going to be like a short time before, or it's going to be like next summer when there's like a slow period for Call of Duty.
Yeah, I'm thinking that I'm actually going to go opposite. I think the first batch will be like a Call of Duty dump to get people excited, right? And then I think later they'll probably just kind of drop some of those other ones in, or maybe they'll do it together. I don't know, but there's a lot of games like that to do. So yeah, I'm ready. I think it'll draw some excitement. It'd be a good time right now. That's why I was hoping maybe this is imminent, because like right now we're on this kind of like a waiting period for like the big games are all going to start dropping in a few months from now, right? And we're kind of like, there's plenty of stuff to play. Don't get me wrong, right? There's plenty of stuff to play and plenty of stuff coming out. But right now just seems like a great time for a little bit of a nostalgia fest for ABK, And I would like to see it. I was thinking maybe it could be imminent, but I have no information whatsoever to think that. But it did surprise me it didn't show up at the Xbox show or mention of it. Like there's nothing.
Well, he did mention that Call of Duty Black Ops 6 was going to Game Pass day one.
Yes.
So we do have some kind of information that we know their plans for some Game Pass deals, but I mean that was kind of expected, I think.
Right. Do y'all think this Gamescom is gonna, if they do it at Gamescom, like it would make sense if they are doing another big show, which is what the other rumor is that's been going around for ever since the end of the Xbox showcase, was that they cut it down so much, even though it was amazing as it was, that they're preparing to have an even or an equally matched show almost, even for Gamescom. I don't know if this is true, if it's true or not, but like if you are having another big show, it would make sense if they did it there. Maybe be a show that has like a more kind of variety of different kinds of things and not just all the big games, right? So it would make sense if they did some Game Pass stuff and things like that there.
yeah, Gamescom is kind of like that weird showcase as far as when it comes to Xbox. Because previously that was all about like new hardware, controller stuff, some PC, mainly like RTS type games releasing around that time frame as well. Maybe a couple of indies. So if they cut some stuff from the big show, move some stuff over, like we didn't get to see Towerborn. There wasn't as much talk about Clockwork Revolution, which I think that's another one that's on the next 18 months possibly. Maybe that makes its appearance at Gamescom. Same thing with what do you call it? Contraband, which we've been hearing that playtests have been going on for some time with that. But yeah, I totally expect Gamescom to. Well, I'm hoping, at least my dream and wish for Gamescom is a new Elite 3 or Series 3 controller, because my 2 is starting to, the rubber is starting to bubble up a little bit. But outside of that, hoping to see a little bit more about Clockwork Revolution. It would be nice to get some of the ABK stuff, even if it's just like, batch 1 or a complete dump of all the games. But the only thing I'm afraid of with a complete dump is that the next day people will complain that, Xbox Live is down because they can't log in or something's wrong with the servers. because the pure flood of people, hopping on at the same time. Even though they'll be playing different games, I think it would be, even though Microsoft is probably the best prepared from a multiplayer standpoint, from their servers and whatnot, but I think that would be like the ultimate stress test. Have every Call of Duty and every older Activision title hit Game Pass at the same time as you already have, 25 million or 30 million plus subscribers on the service as well. I don't know how well prepared they are for that. I'm pretty sure they are prepared for it, but like I can see it now. We'll see Snoop Dogg be like, Xbox fix your shit type of thing.
Yeah.
On Twitter the next day because he can't play Madden or something like that or 2K that day, and that it'll be a great thing that they drop all those titles, but backlash might not be as welcoming, I guess you could say.
Yeah, infrastructure wise, maybe there's more to it with the expectation of a lot of players, right? They're adding a lot of players too when they're putting these games on PlayStation. Too. Because
there's a lot of people from Sea of Thieves. So.
Right. That's kind of what I wanted to get into too. Like, I kind of, because Matt Booty kind of made it clear, as did Phil, right? Matt Booty was kind of like, well, yeah, you can count on games launching exclusively on Xbox still, but making it, putting the words there to kind of let people know that anything's up in the air to go later. I don't think it means that everything is gonna go later to other places, but they definitely have changed some of the way they're using their words to kind of ease expectations for people. And it ultimately, I don't think it's a bad thing or whatever, but like they're trying to be a lot more careful because they don't want to like say, oh, you're gonna have all these like exclusives on Xbox still, and then most games end up going some other places later. But what I was thinking about with this, and I was looking at, somebody put like PlayStation's like most played games right now or whatever, and it's like Call of Duty, right? Minecraft is there. I saw that last
Fortnite, GTA 5.
yeah. Last month, Sea of Thieves was like the most sold game on PlayStation. It's, and I don't know how many people really thought about this too much, but like Xbox is becoming the most important publisher for PlayStation. And it's kind of like it's a Trojan horse of power, really, if you think about it. Like, and a lot of people are like, oh, don't give them I've seen a lot of takes like, hey, you're giving them your games and then they're doing the potential dirty deals like they could be doing with Black Myth Wukong, right? So, yeah, why give them anything when they're doing this kind of stuff, right? And you think about who holds the power. At the end of the day, it's software and services, right? And if you become the most important publisher on another platform, who holds the power at that point? Like, you're not only your own most important publisher, right? And your games and your services and all that kind of stuff, but you're going to have the most popular games on the competing platform, on the games as service games, where people continue to repeatedly spend money as well. Like, what kind of weight does that give you in any kind of thought process in the future when you hold that stuff in your hand and you have control over what you do with it, right? I know with ABK, they're going to be kind of like hamstrung with a lot of things that they're allowed to do and not do. But think about the new IP games and all these other kind of things that they're going to be making. And then you got another one that was just announced, that Doom Dark Ages is going to go to PlayStation also, right? So that's going to be a popular game there. All these games, with a lot of them, have live service elements to it, way more than PlayStation has of their own, right? who really holds that power? Because people are spending the money on the Microsoft, on the Xbox games more than the other games there. So I don't know. I was thinking about the Trojan Horse element and like back to the some of the stuff and some of the emails that had gotten out by like spending them out of business or whatever. And it's like they can't necessarily just spin them out of business, but they have gotten to the point now by growing in size as a publisher and having those games on PlayStation to where PlayStation needs Xbox to survive, which didn't exist before. Like, you take away Call of Duty, you take away that's 2 of the top 10 money earners just this month. There hasn't been a new one, right? Like, take away 2 of the top 10 money earners every month from PlayStation, and
But I mean,
there's going to
like,
be more. You know, there's going to be even more. Like, that's damage. Like, that would be damaging. Like, they need them.
in a magical, like, let's just say in a magical world, like Call of Duty and that stuff would, like, Microsoft could disappear overnight. Like, ultimately, that money would go to like another game. People would find something else to play. Like, I don't know if they're necessarily like,
yeah, but
PlayStation is alive or saved because Xbox, because people would just spend their money elsewhere on another game at the end of the day.
But would they, would they have as much interest in a PlayStation if it didn't have Call of Duty or Minecraft and some of the biggest games in the world? You know, like at that point, it's like, which one do people end up playing? Because people don't really buy and play on PlayStation because of God of War, because of those games, right? Maybe Spider-Man to an extent, you know, but like the most played games on PlayStation every month are like FIFA, or not, sorry, Football Club 2020 or whatever. Madden, Call of Duty, NBA 2K, right? Minecraft, Roblox, you know, Fortnite. These are the games that people are playing, and you take away like the most popular one, which is Call of Duty. Which I know Microsoft can't, but I'm just saying that, like, as far as weight and power of that's, I don't know. I feel like they've Trojan Horse themselves into being a necessity, which is an interesting position to be in for Xbox.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing that it gives them is more negotiation or bargaining power. Not saying that they can go ahead and strong arm Sony, much like Activision tried to do with them, with making them only take a 20% cut. But after a few years, when 6 out of 10 of the most played live service games on that platform might be published by Microsoft, then that's when they can kind of put the screws to them. If they're not going to put the screws to them, and by offering exclusive content, whether it be skins or battle pass rewards and things like that, maybe they start pinching the 30% cut down to 25 or 20 as far as what Sony gets, and they pocket 75 to 80%. But even if they don't do that, like you said, them having so many of the games, the most played games, or live service, how does that really give Sony games a chance? Like, Helldivers did better because it was on PC. More of the player base was on PC. It still helps PlayStation, but if that's the only one that really stands out in your top 20 list, as far as a live service game that you own, like right now, looking at Concord, I don't see how that one manages unless the PC crowd really takes to that one. I mean, like Jasper said, there are some nice things as far as for like the Destiny-esque PvP look to it, but there are a lot of things like I didn't see enough of what the other team looked like as far as their counters on a healer or counters on a tank. Sure, it's early gameplay, but it looked like they just had like random or general players on the team. I know there's supposed to be like 19 specialized characters or whatever. Mm-hmm. They hardly showed any of them. So it's like, does that one even get as much breath for Sony to make, 100% on that player base? Or is it going to be something like Sea of Thieves where they make 30%? Sure, that's a nice cut. But Microsoft is now getting fatter and happier over, all of the players, buying the skins or buying pets for their ship or buying new ships or sales for their ship and stuff. When PlayStation doesn't have a live service game that's really doing that. Like, sure, they're selling MLB cards, but MLB's getting a portion of that money as well. Plus, it's on Xbox where they're still getting money from it, but it's not doing the numbers that a Call of Duty is doing, or even Overwatch 2 is doing, for that matter. So,
I would say their
definitely,
best live service game right now is probably Destiny.
yeah, true.
Yeah, that is Destiny's
But they're
final
closing
shape.
that.
Is final shape doing good numbers still right now? Like I know it had a good launch.
Yeah, it had a good. I don't know if it's still like up there or not, but like it was only a few thousand short of its like top spot on Steam. So like
Right.
it got the numbers to let people back in for at least a short time.
Yeah.
And then with like whenever Marathon comes out, probably next year or the year after, 25, that's going to be a really big game, at least at launch. Like everyone's going to be playing that when it comes out. Now, if they stay playing, I don't know, but everyone's going to at least jump in for a try.
Yeah. Yeah, Marathon will be something. Who knows what Fair Games? We'll keep our eye on it. Don't know. Concord seemingly is going to be the next Foam Stars.
Yeah.
I don't know.
If it's car combat and heist stuff, like maybe that's the answer to like a Twisted Metal kind of, even though it's not the same exact genre, but you got car combat and you can monetize it in a way that's effective. Maybe that holds some ground. At least, if it has a feel kind of like Forza meets, I don't know, GTA kind of deal. Yeah, then that might be another one that does a little bit better than like your Bleeding Edge or something along those lines. Like I don't expect Concord to set the world on fire, but I expect it to at least have more than 30 days staying power. Like Home Stars, I mean, if they didn't if that player base didn't support Destruction All Stars, how were people expecting them to support Foam Stars? Like I knew that one wasn't even going to last as long as Destruction All Stars, and that one they even went through the fight of, oh, it's $70. Oh, well, no, it's now $30. But if you're in PS Plus, it's free.
Yeah,
like they already had to do that. PS Plus made it free for Foam Stars right off the rip, kind of thing. So I don't know.
yeah,
you're right. The Trojan Horse now is, if they do put another games as a service over there. And I know people are going to hate me for it being the Forza guy, but hey, Horizon 5 over there before Horizon 6. Give them a taste. Make the announcement for 6. Hey, it's in Japan, and this one's definitely not coming over. That might get your PS4 crowd to, switch ranks, or maybe even the PS5 crowd to at least pick up Series S as a second console if they haven't already. So, we'll see.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be interesting to see if they have some more successful games like that over on PlayStation, because like Xbox has more successful games of service games on PlayStation than they do themselves. So it's just interesting. And like, as far as Xbox, like what they keep telling us is the best part of the platform, and the reason and the separation and what makes it different and good is the value proposition. Pretty much, like, you get into the same games, right? But you get them at a better price because you can get them in Game Pass day and date, and you also have a cross buy, so you have a more wide, varied ecosystem, right? Your Game Pass subscription goes to multiple places. You have cross progression, cross save, all that kind of stuff, right? So it's like,
and if you want to, you could play it on the most powerful console.
Right, exactly. You could also play it on a Series X. So, but it's going to take time for them to adjust people's thinking, and because the PlayStation is just the kind of de facto platform, and I think they realize that that's not really going to change anytime soon. So why not sell these games to those people and still make more money off of them, and then become an important player on your competitor's platform at the same time? I don't know. I don't think it's going to have as big of effect, like a negative effect on Xbox, as a lot of people think they do, like it does. I think it's more so just selling more games to more people while they continue to do what they're doing, and funding all their projects and stuff, which they have more games coming out. than any other platform. Like than PlayStation, than Nintendo. There's way more stuff coming from Xbox. And even just this next like several months, we got Avowed, we got Indiana Jones, there's Flight Sim, there's Aura, there's Age of Mythology Retold, Towerborn. And I know I'm missing things, like just off the top of my head.
That's more than 6 games with 6 months left in the year.
Yeah. And then 2025, we already had Doom. You have Fable was announced for 2025. South and Midnight was announced for 2025, right? And who knows what else is going to be there for 2025. But like, remember they said like one per quarter. That's 3 of them right there. So we can expect there to be more, plus also the AA and smaller kind of games, right? Like when people thought 4 per year, like this year they're doing like 8 releases, I think. With Hellblade, there's Hellblade 2, Avowed, Indiana Jones, Flight Sim,
Yep.
Aura, Towerborn, Age of Mythology Retold. I know I'm missing I'm missing some, right? It's hard to think of them all off the top of my head, but yeah, they are really like got releases upon releases that they all have planned out, and it's starting to. I think if people are starting to realize and see it all take shape, and maybe at Gamescom we'll see even more, right?
Yeah.
And we got huge announcements like a new Gears, but not the one we all thought. It's even better, Then you got Blade was just announced. Finally showed Perfect Dark again. State of Decay 3.
Even got some DLC stuff that's pretty potent, like Shattered Space. Got the Diablo 4 expansion.
Yeah. Vessel of Hatred. Yeah.
You got and for everybody that's into World of Warcraft, you got that new expansion. So it's like they're cooking right now on what do you call it, Skyline Valley for Fallout. So
yeah, for Fallout 76.
Yeah. So they definitely got a lot of stuff. There's more updates, I think, for Sea of Thieves as well. Hoping that we get some more track announcements and some more stuff for Motorsport. Although we just got Sebring, and I'm so happy about Sebring. But yeah, they definitely got a lot lined up. And I like we talked about earlier, I think Gamescom is going to be maybe 1 or 2 surprises of things that weren't announced at the showcase that we still get before the end of the year. Like we have a pretty good feeling that Towerborn is right around the corner, but the place was playable at the showcase.
Right.
I would say that,
and we didn't
that's
see
probably
it.
not too far off.
It's kind of weird that like they didn't even have it at the show, but it was playable at the showcase. Mm-hmm. So maybe did they say a release date for Replaced yet?
No. I wouldn't be surprised if that's, released like not a shadow drop, but like a stealth drop at Gamescom. Immortals, what is it? Immortals 30 or 33 Immortals was had a pretty good, beta test not too long ago. So that's probably not too far off as well.
Stalker 2's this year.
Stalker 2.
And the other thing too, like they had 2 other big games that were brand new third-party games that were coming to Game Pass as well at the last showcase. So
yeah, Expedition 33 is the big one I'm waiting on.
Did y'all say Call of Duty?
Too
no, I didn't say Call of Duty. Sorry, Jasper. Right, Call of Duty.
The biggest fucking game.
That's now an Xbox.
The biggest game. It's hard. Yeah, it's hard to adjust your thinking, right? Like because that's a yearly release, and you're not used to that being a thing. But I think this year's Call of Duty is going to be fucking huge. There's a lot of excitement about it.
It always is.
Right, but I mean, even like, it more so than last year, right? I think this will be more like the previous year, where there's a lot of hype around Modern Warfare 2, not as much Modern Warfare 3.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be in line with Modern Warfare 2's launch. This was also the Call of Duty that's had the longest dev cycle for Treyarch.
Yep.
So that's going to, I think, probably show up pretty well. And I think the Call of Duty community is genuinely excited about this one, right? There's not a lot of like, oh, but this sucks, this sucks, this sucks. It seems like they're kind of giving that community the things that they've asked for, right? So, yeah, and it's gonna be in fucking Game Pass, bro. Like, remember that was always a question before this all started with the ABK. It's like, will they do Call of Duty in Game Pass, or like, when will they start doing it in Game Pass? Remember, it was questions of like, will the Sony deal keep them from being able to do it right away and all that kind of stuff? Well, the fucking deal got done, and the first big Call of Duty to launch after that is going into Game Pass, day and date. It's going to be interesting to see how the marketing and all that kind of stuff goes with that, because it's already had an impact, because we already had more eyes on the Xbox show this summer than ever before, and people were paying attention, like your fellow space soldiers, Jasper, were all watching, even though they all hated it, but they were watching, right? So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how that takes into effect. I think over time it's gonna start to become more synonymous, like anything. Like, I think ZeniMax Bethesda has started to become synonymous with Xbox, but it took some time, ABK will take some time, and it's going to take those launches into Game Pass day and date, and it's going to take the marketing, and it's going to take all of that kind of stuff. But eventually it'll get there.
Two more that Big Mad Mo made mention of. Flintlock and Path of the Goddess are also coming this year as well.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah. Game Pass is pretty stacked right now.
Yeah, it's a crazy year. There's a lot of good games still coming. All the big games are loaded for the second half this year, except for what everybody's playing now is a large expansion for Elden Ring, Shadow of Erdtree or whatever.
Yeah, some people aren't though. It's too hard, so they're mad.
Yeah, that's taking the world by storm right now. All the big streamers and stuff are playing that, and everybody, all the Elden Ring fans are loving it, or some of them, most of them, I think. Brett Bingham earlier had a question. He was like, could we see RTS games show up at Gamescom, because it's a popular genre in Europe?
100% Age of Mythology is going to be playable at Gamescom, guaranteed.
Yeah, he was wondering if maybe we see a StarCraft return there or something.
Oh, I don't think so.
We can hold out hope. But yeah, I think Age of Mythology. That's launching in September. Is that right?
I think so.
Or November.
I don't know. I know it's later this year, but
yeah,
they'll probably have like a playable demo of that, and because that's usually where they do a lot of demo stuff, is at Gamescom, because Gamescom is open to the public, so they allow people to actually see Xbox games and play them.
Yeah. A lot of people are playing the other game that just hit Game Pass right now too. What's it called?
Still Wakes the Deep.
Yeah, Still Wakes the Deep. That was a day one launch on Game Pass, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Have you played that, Jasper?
No, it's like one of those walking games. So I'm like, I would rather play something else right now.
About you, Fuzz?
It's a little bit better than a walking game, but yeah, I'm taking it slow on that one, and this is going to probably sound like a real reason why I don't have space to move around to install it on the hard drive, so I'm playing it via the cloud.
Yeah,
and I'm doing it to do the daily Game Pass reward as well as the achievement thing. Although I do admit that it's like, because I'm keeping myself to just doing it for the achievements, it's breaking the immersion a little bit, but it is an awesome like horror type game. I'm very early on, so no spoilers or anything like that, but it's got a nice build up to it already, and I'm maybe about an hour in after. No, I would say probably a little bit more than an hour in, but I've been playing it off and on throughout the week, so yeah, it's worth a try. And it's not just walking; it's climbing and out.
My bad.
No, it's no, but it's like you have to figure out where you're going or where you're supposed to go, or other ways around certain like obstacles and things like that. So it's pretty decent, but it is a horror theme game that doesn't appear that way in the beginning. So
Maimland says it's more like Alien Isolation. Is that a good example?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I like those examples because I can kind of get in my head the gameplay style. Because most games copy other games, and there's like very few games that like you can't point to an example of, right? But yeah, that Alien Isolation
Maybe or Outlast, but without as many scares.
Outlast. Okay.
Yeah.
I gotta be honest, I can't play those kind of horror games. Like that's why Resident Evil 7 was like my least. Well, it wasn't my least favorite. 6 sucked ass, but 7 was the hardest for me to play because it felt the most scary because you constantly have something kind of chasing you, right? I have a hard time playing those games when something is like constantly after you and you have to like try and escape or whatever. I can't do it. So yeah, I played some Alien Isolation and it was difficult for me to get through that too. Even though it's a alien game.
I don't know if it will be as scary of a game, but like let's put it this way: it's when the hair on the back of your neck is going to stand up, kind of thing. But it's like a good kind of scare. I don't know how else to put it, but it's like you they give you the ability to look right immediately behind you by pushing down on the right thumbstick. So there are times where it might be a good idea. Sometimes it's probably not a good idea. But
Is it more like almost like of a mystery and not necessarily a scary game, like more of like a mystery?
It has mystery elements to it, because I'm not going to spoil it, but it's like you're on a oil rig basically, and
Yeah.
you go from being one of the, I guess, main worker people to getting your butt chewed to get off my platform, and then stuff kind of changes. So yeah. It's definitely worth trying it out. Even just, I would say, play it on cloud for like an hour. If it sticks with you, good. If it doesn't, like, understandable. But like I would say, once you go through that change of scenery kind of thing, and you'll know what I'm talking about by that. That's where it starts to get good. So yeah.
Luis Jose says, "Have I played Outlast?" Yes, I have tried Outlast, and I have a hard time playing that game. I don't like. I mean, I appreciate the games and think they're good. I just can't take that constant like tension of always knowing something could be there, you know.
But see, like I feel like with a lot of games like Outlast, like it's almost like I know something's gonna be like this guy's gonna jump out this fucking wheelchair. Like he's just gonna do it right when I get to him. He's gonna try to grab my leg. He's like, that's what's gonna happen, and that's what happens. It's like you can almost like call it
right
just by like what's around
you.
You
can do that in the movies too. Like I'm that guy that can see what's happening in the movie ahead of time, but there's sometimes still fun to go through, kind of thing. My wife says, "Stop overthinking it and just enjoy the movie." But it's like, yeah, I'm not going to be the guy that goes in the basement when I hear odd noises. Like, all right, everybody get your shit. We're getting out of the house, kind of thing. I'm not investigating nothing. We'll find out the next day or when it's light outside or something along those lines. But yeah, no, they're still fun. It's just that, yeah, it's like, are they going to get to me before I get to them, or like you said, as soon as you get to the wheelchair, is he grabbing you? Yeah, but it's still fun. That hair on your neck has to, at least raise up a little bit, kind of thing.
You know what it is? It's not even like the scariness of it. I've just realized this because it's like a gameplay mechanic in general that I don't like the feeling of being chased. Like it just makes me not want to experience it. Like even like old school games, like Metroidvanias or anything like that. Like there's a part in Metroid Dread, like where like they're like you're getting chased or whatever, and you have to escape out of within a certain amount of time, right? or you're constantly running away from something, and if you don't beat it, then you're gonna die. It could even be like an explosion, like in a level at the end of a level where you have to like escape before the explosion consumes you. I fucking can't. I can't stand that mechanic. And if I feel like I'm being chased or like I have to like get away from something, I don't like it. I don't know what it is, but it's just a mental
like
thing.
even with like Dead Rising back in the day, like I didn't like that. Like you had this 72-hour timer or whatever to like beat the game in 3 days. Like I didn't like that because I feel like because it's almost like forcing you to not explore because you're like, shit, I got to get this main quest done. I got to get the base quest. Like, but I could be experiencing the best side quest ever.
Yeah, it takes away your freedom, right?
Yeah.
Like you're feeling constantly pushed and constantly pressured. Like I don't like, even in Far Cry 2, you have to fucking take your malaria shots. Like that was like, oh my god, I got to make sure I always think about that. You know what I mean? Otherwise, oh no. This little thing is like that. It's like I can't stand that kind of shit in games. The new Far Cry is rumored to be on a time cycle. It's rumored to be like a 3-day, like 72-hour, like you have to finish it, but like in real time it's a lot less. So I don't know how I feel about that. It's interesting if they do it. It means it'll probably be more focused a little bit, but I don't like pressure.
Understand.
I think that's what it is. Take the pressure away, please.
Like I want to do my own thing. I want to go over here, and you're forcing me to run through the main part. But some of the chase stuff, like especially if they make it like a centerpiece of the game, like I think if there's like a situation like that in Starfield where you're gonna have to run. Well, actually, there's a couple of situations where you have to run or you're going to die.
When I hate it anytime those situations come up, every single fucking time, doesn't matter the game, I hate it.
What about
I know what you're talking about. I hate it in Halo. Like at the end of Halo 3, I fucking couldn't stand it. I was like, no, don't fucking force me to do this. I want to like leave at my own pace. Like it ended up being exciting and adrenaline filled. You know what I mean? Like it's like, oh shit, sometimes it can give that element. When it gives you that adrenaline and excitement, sometimes it's okay. It's more okay, right? But like when it's with just tension and like atmosphere and stuff, and it's not like adrenaline, like exciting, then I don't like it as much. But even then, it's like I'm not a huge fan. It's just a mechanic thing. I think we all have those things with games, right? Like just a certain kind of thing you just don't like in games.
Yeah, like fighters
it's the force stealth.
That's an entire genre, Jasper. That's specifically like an entire genre. But yeah, you don't like platformers at all?
I mean, they're all right, but they just get boring. Like they're all kind of the same. It's all Mario ripoff.
Kind of. Or Donkey Kong ripoffs.
Yeah, I guess.
No, it's the force stealth stuff for me. Not like a stealth game like when it's part of the game, I'm fine with it, but when it's like, oh, you've been like either shooting or blowing up stuff this entire game, but this one, mission, you have to be completely quiet and sneak past everybody. No. Why can't I just kill everybody like I've been doing the whole rest of the game? Why are you forcing me to sneak by people at this point? But I get it. But those are like my least favorite moments, but I don't know. That's if it's a stealth game from start, totally different story. But if it's, run and gun and now it's a stealth mission, I hate those missions.
Right. Luis Jose says, have I played Subnautica? I don't remember if I've played it or not. I probably started it at least, but there's a thing with games that go underwater. If I have to worry about my oxygen, it's the same thing. I can't fucking stand it, bro. Like I don't like running out of shit that I need to live.
They should have done something similar to like one of the Tomb Raiders where it's like you just keep on coming up for the bubbles of air or the little pockets of air or something like that.
because I'll like have a full oxygen tank, and I'll be nervous about it, right? I'll be like looking down. Oh, it's at 98. Okay, how much time do I have left? Then I'll look down. It's like at 95. You know, oh, okay, I still got some time. But I spend more time fucking looking down at the oxygen than I am even trying to accomplish my goal, and it's just fucking constant nervousness about it.
Because when you were playing Power World, you were afraid to go more than like 5 feet away from your base. You're like, I only got one Pokemon.
Exactly. It's the same thing there. Like because it's like, wait, what's gonna happen? You know, I don't have survival stuff. You know, I don't have enough stuff to survive. I'm gonna die if I go too far away. I need to be at home, right? And then I learned, oh, I can survive out here in the wilderness on my own. Then they opened the game up. I finally figured it out, right? Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's just a mental thing, I think. But anyway, yeah, enough about that. Is there is there a game you guys do expect to be at Gamescom besides Age Mythology? What about you, Fuzz?
I'm hoping Contraband is that game. I want to see it more than like the CGI trailer stuff that they showed the first go round. The rumors of car combat. I just want to see it. I'm hoping it's some of the mechanics that they had like in Mad Max. I believe it's the same people that made Mad Max. Yeah, I just want to see what this game is going to be like to play, and hopefully it's coming this year or coming soon.
Made Mad Max. Who's making Contraband?
Yeah, they are Avalanche.
Avalanche.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the same team. They made some decent games.
Rage 2.
Yeah,
they helped with Rage 2.
Yep.
They did. They're more famously known for Just Cause.
Yeah.
There's another game that they've done that I can't remember the name of right now, but yeah, they've done some good games or decent games. Some that didn't quite land. I'm not sure if it's the same Avalanche that did the kids versus robots. I forget the name of the thing. It was like some sort of like futuristic thing where they woke up and everybody was killed by the robots, and just the teens coming back from vacation or something were the only ones to survive.
Yeah.
I think I know what you're talking about, but I don't know the name of it.
Mr. Waffle says, so did the Sonic water countdown drive you crazy? Yes. Like, okay, if I'm in a game and there's swimming and you go underwater, right, and you have to swim for a certain amount, and there's some games, right, where there's no way out. Like, you have to go underwater and you have to get to your destination before you run out of air because you're like in a tunnel or some shit underground.
But isn't that every Sonic game? You have to get to the end of the level in like a minute 30 or whatever?
Well, Sonic, you can take your time if you want to.
Yeah, you just don't get any points.
Right. But I forget what game I was just playing. Hellblade 2. You have to, there's certain parts where you go underwater and you swim to different areas. But like some games, you have to swim, you know, underwater, and you have to get to a destination before you run out of air. It was even in like parts of Call of Duty and stuff, like and different things. I fucking can't stand it, man. I can't stand it because I have this constant like fear of like I have no control. I have to make it, you know. But I don't like that. So, and it was especially when they do the sound effect and you start like drowning, you know, like stuff, and you're like, I want to go to the like immediately after I go underwater. I'm the same way in real life. I won't stay underwater too long. Like I freak out even if I'm at plenty of air. So yeah, I think it's just a mental thing. I'm fucked in the head, guys. All right. What about you, Jasper? Anything you think is going to show up at Gamescom?
I think every game that comes out this year will be playable at Gamescom. So any game that they're putting out this year will be playable at Gamescom. Now for surprises,
Sure.
I think there's probably got to be something coming out next year that they haven't told us about. Like we probably know like the name of
Right.
it or whatever, but we just don't have a date for it. I just don't know what that would be. So I'm gonna say there is at least a surprise game there.
Okay.
Eh,
Surprise
maybe-
2025 game.
Yeah, maybe like I don't know. It's so hard. I want to say Halo just because like give me whatever fucking Certain Infinity's working on finally. But I don't know if that would be there.
Future of Halo's
Yeah, I
interesting,
don't know.
man.
Yeah.
Any Halo fans you met in Space Force?
Everyone likes Destiny.
Okay. Does not surprise me whatsoever. You guys ready to get into some tidbits?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we'll have some fun. This is Jasper's first tidbits in a while, and I'm just gonna forewarning everybody. This is not a great week. I was looking at the list that Fuzzy said. This is not a great week for tidbits, but maybe there's something in here that'll tickle your fancy. All right, while Fuzzy's setting this up, everybody, this is Tidbits, a segment where we look ahead at the games releasing for the week. Fuzzy took over setup duties of Tidbits when Jasper abandoned us. And we got a list of there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Wait,
There's like 11 games.
Yeah. I messed up.
No, you're good, man. There's like 11 games here, but I'm just telling you guys, this is maybe one of the worst weeks of Tidbits in Tidbits history.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that stood out the most to me is a Netflix game, and that should tell you
Right.
all of this needs to be said.
Which one is that? The
Cozy Grove.
Cozy Grove farming game, sounds like.
Yeah, it's kind of like Don't Starve Together.
Right.
Thing.
All right. Oh.
I don't know if it's already started or...
Yeah, it's already started. I'll start it over.
Yeah.
If you want to go alone.
Okay, we'll go together. But
I'm trying to start it over. There we go.
I think Fuzzy's got it. Yeah.
You started over, Fuzz?
Yeah.
There we go.
It is Beyond Good and Evil, the 20th Anniversary Edition, launching on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series X and S, Switch, and PC this Tuesday. I believe this one was $39.99, but I forgot to put the price.
Did either of y'all ever play this and beat it?
Nope.
I didn't beat
It's
it.
supposed to be really good.
Yeah.
But I think it's funny how a remake's coming out after or before the announced sequel.
Yeah, it was like announced 9 years ago. Or whatever.
Yeah.
I would maybe consider going to play this. I never played it.
Can't go there, Jade.
If you want
After seeing the more recent update or sequel, I don't know if I could play this. I still have hope that that sequel will get out of development hell at some point, but you should almost take bets on which comes out first these days: Beyond Good and Evil or Splinter Cell. These years, Ubisoft was surprised us and released both of them. You'd be like, ha, see, I told you.
Up to 4K 60. They just couldn't make it for this old ass game 4K 60.
I'll come back for you.
No, because of Series S.
Okay.
Paige, you've been hiding this from me for the past 20 years.
Maybe it's because it's a on all platforms commercial.
Yeah.
They gotta have the 30 frames, 720p Switch version.
All right, this is Cozy Grove Camp Spirit. Just coming to iOS and Android this Tuesday via Netflix. If you're a Netflix subscriber, just pre-register and then be able to play it through your Netflix account on your phone kind of thing.
This looks like Netflix Animal Crossing.
Pretty much.
I like the art style. The like kind of watercolory look to it. Reminds me of like one of the magazines you would read as a kid at a place you're getting a haircut at. What you guys remember those? I don't remember what they're called. Highlights magazine. Highlights, yes. Y'all remember fucking Highlights? Reminds me of like the art style of like stuff in the Highlights magazine.
Yeah. I really wish Netflix would just put some of their games in their game streaming on Xbox. I mean, if I can watch Netflix movies, why not play Netflix games?
Yeah, right?
I don't know. All right, this next one is a remake. I'm sorry, not the remake. The next one after that's a remake. This one is Graven, which I think this left early access earlier this year on PC, and it's finally coming to consoles, being the PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series X and S.
Yeah, this is
$24.99 this Tuesday.
The Hexen like spiritual successor or whatever. Like it's supposed to be like if Hexen had a sequel, it's like or something. I don't know.
Is it open world or is it linear?
To unknown strength.
I have no idea.
I'm not sure.
Looks pretty fun.
Yeah.
Graven.
Don't forget your staff, priest. It's the only thing that will keep you alive. You're gonna need it more than I.
The Gritty Realms.
Yeah, it went into early access at that time, and it just left early access on PC this January.
Riven.
Now this one is the remake. This one is basically an old game that's been remade.
Yeah.
To now work on.
There's a great deal of history that you should
Quest
know.
2 and 3, as well as PC and Mac.
And for
Price for this is $30.99 on the
I
Quest.
can't send you to Riven with a way out.
Forefront. It's on sale basically, but
Once you
it's
free
normally
Catherine,
$34.99 everywhere
I'll come with a
else.
linking book. She'll know how to signal me.
Comes out this Tuesday.
Click
I know what he's
adventure.
doing.
Yeah, this originally came out
He's
like
watching
what, the
you.
early 2000s or something.
He's waiting for
Yeah.
you. to
No,
make a
this was
mistake.
like
97, I think.
yeah, it was like the 90s.
The 90s?
It was along with like Mist and all that stuff. It's the same kind of style game.
According to my most recent measurements, it appears that the fifth age has entered its
For
For some
final
reason, I
Definitely
could have swore this
graphics.
came out like when I was like 9 something or 8.
There's a very good chance, if all this goes well, that you'll be returned to the place that you
They
came
remake
from.
these games like every like 5 years, like The Seventh Guest, Mist.
1997.
Yeah.
So I was 14.
I apologize for the cage.
I was 1.
1 years. 1 years old.
Already a couple of years out of high school at that point.
And old.
All right, this next one is Super Monkey Ball Banana Rumble.
Banana ramble. Banana ramble.
This one
Looks like an
is-
Apple commercial for like get the color of your new phone.
Yeah, this is priced at $49.99, coming to Switch.
Yeah.
Like the one on the GameCube back in the day.
Yeah. It looked the same.
Yeah.
Banana.
All right, this next one is Until Then, coming to PS5 and PC this Tuesday. No pricing yet, because it's
Why are they
still
all
up for
bouncing?
pre-order, which
This
is weird.
Looks like a 3-bit ass 3-bit game right here.
Yeah.
Ooh, I can browse social media in a game. I can ponder my thoughts walking to the subway.
Why is everyone bouncing?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Well, that's the way it was in the old like pixel art games.
Yeah.
Like, remember how Street Fighter, they could never
Yeah.
stand still. They're always like breathing and bouncing back and forth. I see a blue bubble. Those the developers are obviously not Android fans.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's-
this is a super ass 3D game.
Yeah, 100%. 3-bit, where are you, man? This is for you, bro. Until then. It's no Xbox, PS5 and Steam.
Yep.
Sorry, it's not a 3-bit
The
game.
money had it.
All right, this next one is Monster Hunter Puzzles.
Oh, here you go. This is the Monster Hunter game everyone's talking about, right?
This one is just coming to iOS and Android. No pricing. I doubt that they'll charge for this, but there will probably be in-app purchases. Coming out this Wednesday. If you like Candy Crush, but you wanted a Monster Hunter spin, there you go.
Use the help little cat.
I told you guys, I gave y'all a warning before Tidbit started. Meow.
I would say this week has been more of a Nintendo Switch fans week as far as games.
Yeah.
What's the last
It's like
game?
they have Animal Crossing though. Like why do you need cat Animal Crossing with puzzles? It's like, is this just a puzzle game or is it? I'm confused.
I
But
think it's just Candy Crush.
I think you
it's Candy
yeah,
Crush
it's,
where
it's
you build
Candy
up.
Crush, but the rewards allow you to
Oh, build your island.
build up your-
Okay, well, I can get down with that. Monster Hunter Puzzles, Feline Isles.
I'm good.
It's on mobile.
All right, this next one is Luigi's Mansion 2 in HD.
Yeah, that was a fuzzy game, Luis.
Yeah, I always wanted to play Luigi Mansion, but I was like, again, I'm not paying $60 for a fucking game.
Yeah, it's a fun
Fuck around and
game.
Mansion.
I like Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah.
Luigi's Mansion 2 HD.
Yeah, $59.99 this Thursday.
This is $60?
Yes.
It's Nintendo. Everything they put out is $60
But
and
this
it
is,
never goes on sale. That's why I
I
don't play
played
their
this
shit.
on the 3DS, bro.
Faint of Heart Hero was sent here to check it out.
Yeah, but it's
Now you can
It's
play it
time
on
for
your
some
newer
Mansion
Switch or Switch OLED in HD.
No spooky adventure is complete.
Why
without
is it
this vacuum
more
light
than it
device,
was
the
back then?
poltergust.
It's
Use it to
HD.
light up dark areas, vacuum up objects, and interact
It's
with the
Nintendo.
environment.
They don't have to have
It's a
reasons.
handy tool for
Just
your
buy the game.
paranormal escapades.
I love the game. Just play it with the
Plus,
sound on.
when
Make
you
sure you
spot a
play all
ghost,
Nintendo games with the sound on.
Pop! You can stun them with the strobe bulb, then vacuum them up. You can even grab multiple ghosts at once. In this game, you'll find ghosts haunting, a former plant research lab, a broken down clock factory that's full of sand, a mine covered in ice and snow, and even more places. These troublemakers will use every trick in the book to block your path. Can Luigi
I think this is the one I
summon his
played on the
courage and
3DS.
save the day?
Or was this a GameCube one?
Looking for other ghost hunters? Up to 4 players online can do some
looks just like it.
exercise across different multiplayer modes. Luigi's Mansion 2 HD creeps onto Nintendo Switch next summer.
This is the kind of shit that they get away with. It drives me crazy. Nobody complains about, but that's what it is.
Now, if this was a little more or a little less of like RC Pro-Am style, I would probably pick it up.
Yeah, this looks pretty solid, bro. Build your own tracks.
Yeah. This is Neo Sprint. And reasonably priced, $24.99. Comes out this Thursday on PS4, PS5, Series X and S, Switch, and PC.
Yeah, this week sucks ass, dude.
This week is, I would say, about 60 or 70% Switch games, essentially.
At least
This is a PS5.
It's
it's
next
crazy that
one,
it's
man.
Atari VCS.
This is
Chia.
Comes to Switch this Thursday at $29.99.
Watered and watch
see
it
how
grow.
blurry
Now buy
that
your
shit
skip heads for
looks?
$19.99.
Think it-
Yeah, it's. Don't look at the PS5 videos if you're a Switch player. Just like night and
I mean,
day.
that seems like
I wouldn't say
it's
it's like
for
night
every
and day, but it is definitely different. Like almost on the level of like Mortal Kombat 1.
Yeah, I'm used to seeing this game not look like this, you know?
This next one is Spy vs. Anya Operation Memories. Coming to PS4, PS5, and Switch this Friday. No price listing as of yet.
Who cares how much it is?
I'm assuming this is probably like a $39.99.
I'm just kidding.
Either $29.99 or $39.99 is what I would expect to see.
Let's fill a diary with exciting moments.
What the fuck is It's you're like a Twilight Zone episode.
I know, bro. I hate games that take place mostly in school. Also, it's another weird thing I have. Like, there's so many like good JRPGs and stuff, or like some of the Atlas games, Persona games and stuff, but you spend so much time in school, or like Fire Emblem Three Houses, like you're at the fucking college or whatever. For some reason, it's like I don't want to walk around school and talk to teachers.
What about Hogwarts Legacy?
That's my least favorite part. I like when you go out of town.
This feels like a Nickelodeon show, or like a Nickelodeon Junior show, but for like anime.
Mm-hmm.
Anya さん、よかったら絵日記を見せてもらってもいいですか?
Anya, can we have a look at your diary
これは
too?
公園に行った時の。
This is when we went to the park.
水族館に行った時
This
の。
is when we... Oh
ま
my.
た一緒にお出かけしたい。
わかったわかった。次のお出かけ先を決めるぞ。
Like I said, the standout for me was Cozy Grove.
Yeah,
That's a mobile
the
game.
Highlights Magazine game.
I don't even know what the fuck we just watched.
I warned you guys. Yeah, maybe Beyond Good and Evil 2 or Beyond Good and Evil 20th anniversary be a highlight
Yeah.
or something.
Graven looked cool.
Graven looks pretty good.
Yeah, it did.
Oh, a good week for games this week, everybody. I think next week's supposed to be better. Last week would have been Elden Ring, right? So that was pretty big. But we didn't have FSP last week. Sorry, guys. That's just what they got to give us this week, everyone. But, you know, there's something there for...
Elden Ring.
Maybe there's something there for you. Maybe. The Animal Crossing puzzle Candy Crush thing. How much was that again? Like,
that one I think is free. They just
Okay.
have it where the register. I'm pretty sure it's going to be free.
is a
in-app.
Monster Hunter one or whatever. Okay. That one I
Did
could
you see this?
maybe play. I don't know. What, Jasper?
Did you see this new Call of Duty game mode for Modern Warfare 3?
No.
It makes everything look like Minecraft, but in Call of Duty.
What? Is that like a not? It's
It's
not a
called-
mod. It's like a real
Yeah.
thing.
No, it's like a new mode. It's in Modern Warfare 3 multiplayer. A new playlist Modern Warfare arrives with Season 4 Reloaded called Bit Party. Everything's like Minecraft blocks. but
Really?
In Call of Duty.
Competition
Yeah.
for Battle Beat.
That's interesting. So like we got that, and they also had the Fallout content, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Fallout skins and stuff. It's pretty cool. Yeah, maybe we'll. I just don't want. I uninstalled this COD a while back to download some other games, and I don't want to and reinstall 200 something gigabytes. I need
And
to
with
like.
Microsoft and Call of Duty, they're going to turn this into not necessarily a fight. What is it? Fortnite like clone, but they're going to probably try some things that Activision was less likely to
Yeah,
try in the past.
they may do some stuff like that for sure. Well, everybody, that was Tidbits, and that was this episode of FSP. Thank you all for being here, guys. Appreciate the chat. Appreciate everybody who watches any of our content. But hey, Jasper, thank you for gracing us with your presence again. I don't know when, you're not going to be able to again. Probably this week.
Sooner rather than
Yeah.
later. But
Yeah. Give us a heads up, though. If you're free, you're more than welcome always to join us for sure. But appreciate you being here, bro. And tell everybody where you can find you.
Yo, check it out. Lord Jasper, Twitter, and YouTube. All that, or Lord Jasper, or Master Jasper. There we go. I had to think of my own name. It's been a while since I had to do the outros. But other than that, yeah, that's where you find me. Just, hit that up, and then I'll see it, read it, and reply, maybe. That's where I am. That's what I do. Check it out.
Right on, bro. Appreciate you, Jasper, and the one and only.
Outro's a little rusty.
Yeah, that's all right. Good. What about you, Fuzz?
Oh, always a fun time being here with you, Mav, and love having Jasper back with us doing these episodes and stuff. But man, oh man, so much fun. Looking forward to games coming later on this year. So much stuff to still play. Trying not to let the backlog build up too much. So please, everybody, clear your backlog as best you can before the year ends. But yeah, for those that love hearing my rambles and rants, just follow me on the app, known or formerly known as Twitter at @fuzzy_Belvedere. And hope to see everybody that's in the chat here for Xbox Ultimate Friday night at 10. Look forward to seeing you guys then.
Yep, and we'll be back. Pong and I will be back for PM in the PM on Thursday, and Friday night's Xbox Ultimate podcast. And if anything happens, maybe you'll see me for a Mavcast. I said this before, but I think we'll probably start trying to do those more. So maybe on the other nights we're not having regular shows. So stay tuned and stick around, and maybe you'll see me go live. Follow on Twitter on Fun Speculation to find out whenever we're going live, and appreciate you all. Also, Spotify or any podcast platform, you guys. Appreciate all the audio listeners out there. Leave a review on your favorite podcasting platform. It greatly helps people find the show that way as well. Have a good one, everybody. Peace out. Good night.
Hey.